Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, welcome to Journey of 1,000 Miles. Some people are like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Journey of 1,000 Miles. It sounds like some sort of new age shit. It's not. I used to do videos where I would talk about working in the comic business, and people really loved them. I mean, at Comic Con, people come up and they go, dude, you need to do those again. I love those. I love listening to them while I work. And so I'm bringing them back. Don't call it a comeback. But anyway, we're going to look at a bunch of different topics today. It's really fun. Most of the time, they're listening videos. I used to do it where I would sit in front of the camera and talk. We'll get into that today, too, because I will get back to doing that. But part of this you can just listen to, and then the part of it you can watch. But I even wrote down notes today, which I never do. But what I thought I would do is there was a couple of problems with the Journey of 1,000 Miles videos. Someone asked me on Patreon over the weekend about it, and I did an hour-long video similar to the question and answer that I did called Almost Live here, and I answered all their questions. So Patreon could actually just they knew, they were aware of it, and they could ask me anything that they wanted, and I hit it all in a video. I think Sunday I did it, Saturday or Sunday. He asked, where they were, why they couldn't be found. One of the reasons was they really did weigh down my channel. There were so many of them because I had done a ton of vlog videos before that, which were essentially the same thing. And then with all the Journey of 1,000 Miles videos, unfortunately, as I was trying to build my channel, they were dead weight. I mean, people loved them, but it was like they almost needed their own YouTube channel because it appeals to a certain demographic, which is more likely people that are aspiring artists, but they're really, really good videos. And I think you could apply this stuff to like anything. But anyway, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about was just being online. So this is crazy, and this shows how if you're a decent person and you treat people with respect, this stuff comes full circle, whether it's short term or long term. But if you plant good seeds, good things will grow from it. So on my YouTube channel, there's been a guy posting, and he's been really helpful as I've moved closer to the crowdfunding thing. And his name is Antoine. What's up, Antoine? And so he says in passing, he said, I've been around since the Yahoo group days and, such and such. And he said, back then I went by Tony. I immediately recognized his name, and I was like, are you Tony such and such? He had a username like, Blasterkid kind of thing back at that time. And sure enough, it was him. And so this is a person that I met online literally right when I first got on the internet, years and years and years ago. And we created a friendship as fans of art. Even though I was a professional at the time, I still, even back then, treated everybody the same. If you're cool, you're on my team. I don't, especially nowadays with everything that's going on. It's like if someone's a good person and I believe that they behave in a good way overall to people, then I'm fine with them. I don't have to agree with every opinion that a person has to be friends with them. And in fact, nowadays you really sort of see people's, like it covers a lot more of a range. But anyway, Antoine sent me a couple of really, really great links with all kinds of things that are do's and don'ts of crowdfunded campaigns. And so I started looking it over, and it's like it freaks you out because you're like, oh crap, like, okay, I have these couple of do's and I'm leaning towards this don't, and I want to do this do, but I don't have that ready yet, or you know what I mean? So it's interesting. But what I thought I would do is I thought I would document the whole process of trying to do a crowdfunded book, because I thought it would be interesting for people. I know that Jim Rugg, I guess, did something where he did sort of a retrospective. I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, he did something like that where he sort of broke down how he did his crowdfunded book. I thought what I would do is just sort of document the journey along the way, so you'll see it a bit more in real time. But yeah, yesterday I went and set up the pre-launch page. I'll have a link for it. It's a very raw version of it. It was very challenging to fill out, and I'll explain why. I was telling a friend of mine who's not into comics this morning about the experience of doing it, because he was asking me, he's like, are you working on the book? And I'll get into that in a second. But I go, well, yesterday I was setting up the pre-launch page. But the interesting thing about when you go to Indiegogo, which is the one I'm doing mine on, and you set up a pre-launch page, they ask you a lot of questions, and there's a lot of like, create a title, something that's catchy, that's gonna get your reader's eye, and something that's gonna get them excited to sign up for the early mailing list thing. And you go, okay, well, the title of the book is this, and you go, well, that's not really, I mean, it's cool, but I don't know if that's like going to get people like super excited. And then then there's like a descriptor, and you'll have like 200 characters to like do that. So I wrote my first descriptor, and of course it was like 8 characters over, so it wouldn't fit. And then you're kind of trying to chop it down and make it sound good. And I noticed on Shane Davis has a pre-launch page up. I was checking it out. My friend Antoine had sent me a link to it to get an idea of what a pre-launch page looks like. And I noticed he had to trim off one letter at the end of his, I think it was cat, or it should have been cats, and I think he could only write cat. But I was like, okay. And then you're trying to pick like good descriptive words that are exciting. It's like something like, is like explosive the best word? It's kind of a long word. That's a lot of letters. Is there a shorter word for explosive that I could use? So it was very, very funny, but I'll get into that more. That's another video onto itself, but I will do it soon because I don't want to get too far past a point where I don't remember exactly the emotions and the experience of doing it. But it was very funny. But anyway, my point of the first little bullet point in this journey of 1,000 miles is, when you're out online and you're meeting people, these are relationships that will continue to go on for years and years and years. And some people, I haven't talked to Tony in probably 10 or 12 years. If I remember correctly, I always think people trip out when I remember this stuff so clearly. Because like, even when I brought up his username from back then, it was like I joked and said it was like the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing, like where he's like, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But I remember people, and I remember things. I know I think Steven is still around. Are you still around, Steven, or do you hate me? We bumped heads a little bit. I still love Steven. We're very high energy, very passionate people. And we had a little bit of conflict. But I'm cool with you, Steven, and I do hope that you're back. So, anyway, yeah, so when you like, I haven't talked to this guy in probably over a decade. We don't know each other personally. I'm pretty sure that we've never met in person, but he's helping me now. Someone that I was nice to and cool to almost 20 years ago now has surfaced and has been really, really helpful for me. So I appreciate it, Tony, Antoine. And I'm happy that you're still around, and I'm happy that we get to communicate again. This is very exciting time for me, and I'm super stoked that you're actually going to see it finally happen, because we've been dreaming about this kind of stuff for 20 years. Sorry, and then Blasterkid is a job. This is my bullet point number 2. I didn't used to do this, but I had 4 very different things that I was originally just going to do one video, and I was going to talk about Blasterkid being a job for me now, and I mean that actually in a great way, but I had so many other little topics that I could hit on. But so yeah, today is the day where Blasterkid actually becomes a job for me, and what I mean by that is I'm taking it deadly serious. I'm devoting a certain amount of time during the day, just like if I would clock in on a job, and I'm putting in the work. I'm working on the book like a real job. I'm not getting paid yet because we haven't launched the campaign, but the point is it's not me dabbling with it. It's not me going like, well, maybe tonight I'll work on it for an hour or two, or this weekend I'm going to spend like 8 hours. I'm going to spend a whole day drawing a piece. It's part of my day and it's part of my schedule. My goal right now would be to work on it for probably between 6 and 8 hours today. And I'm trying to settle into a new schedule. I need to create a schedule because what happens? This happens to everyone that crowdfunds. You've seen it with probably all of your favorite crowdfunders at this point. It's a lot of work and it's a little bit overwhelming, and it pulls us out of our comfort zone for a bit. And we're all professionals. Most of the people that you're dealing with have done professional work, but generally have one job description, which is you're the penciler of a book, or you're the inker of a book, or you're the colorist of a book. But now we're YouTubers. I've got a Patreon that I cultivate, and then I have lessons and reviews that I give through Patreon, and that takes up a little time during the month, and and then I have Blasterkid, and if I play my cards right, I won't have to take much more inking work. I have one final thing lined up right now with Ryan Benjamin, and past that, if you guys will catch my fall, I'm gonna literally just fall backwards into your arms. I'm hoping everyone will catch me and we'll be able to just get the momentum going. I have some really exciting Blasterkid news, but I can't talk about it just yet. But yeah, I'm excited that it's a job. It sounds like a weird, like maybe almost like a negative connotation, but the fact of the matter is it's 11:15 right now. By noon, I'm going to be working on this thing, and I'm going to work on it until I'm done working for the day, which will be probably around 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. And then I'll chill, study a little bit for maybe an hour or so, and tomorrow morning, it's the same thing. This is what I want to work on. I'm very, very reliable. The one thing that you can count on from me is I'm very deadline conscious. I'm going to feel it out for 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not going to try to predict how fast I can do the pages. Once I've done, I would say 3 to 5 pages in a row, meaning that I've penciled them and then inked them. I'm going to really keep track of the time and see, like, okay, this page in theory would be a hard one. It's got about as much detail as I would ever put in one of these pages. How long did that take? Okay, that took 16 hours. How long did it take for me to do a fast page? Okay, a fast page takes me 6 hours, whatever it is, and then I'll be able to really predict how long will it take me to do a 48-page book. I did a 10-page short story for heavy metal for Megadeth a few months ago, and it was me penciling and inking it, and I did it in 20 days, but you figure 10 pages of pencils and inks is really 20 days worth of work. And on top of that, I didn't always have script, so there was a little bit of a waiting time because the person I was working with was in England. So many times I would finish something and then have to wait, 12 or 14 hours for it to be morning, and then when he started working and stuff like that. And so there was a little bit of lag, but a 48-page book then could in theory take me, if it took a day a page, it would be 96 days. That's not that bad. I would rather spend a little extra time on it, but if I'm doing the math right, isn't that right? That's 96 days. That's with no days off, which I don't normally take days off. What I do is I work 7 days a week, but on the weekends I'll work shorter days, or they're a little more fractal, but they're only fractal because of YouTube and Patreon, honestly. Most of the time I don't have any problem working 5 or 6 hours a day every day. That's like an easy schedule for me. It gives me something to do, but again, YouTube, I work out every day. That takes an hour, a little over, and try to get my shit together. So next is sort of a double whammy. I'm gonna actually do a few live auctions. I'm gonna start live streaming, so that'll be really, really fun. And this is all kind of combined into one sort of next bullet point. Is I have a webcam here that I bought to do guitar lessons maybe in the last year. It's a piece of shit. Like, I wouldn't want to stream with it. It's got average video at best, and it's got average audio at best. So if you have any recommendations for at least a really good starter webcam, I'm on a PC, let me know. And a decent mic, something that's affordable right now. I can't break the bank on it. And a drawing stand for my table so that I can actually, I think it would be very difficult for me to pencil pages and live stream, only because I'm so focused when I draw that I don't know how chatty I would be. Inking would definitely be easier. So I thought that would be really fun as I'm inking the pages. I think that's what Doug TenNapel does, if I'm not mistaken, is it seems to me that I see him more inking if he's streaming. So anyway, I get why that would probably be the case. And a lot of people when they stream don't work because it's like you don't want to have a boring stream. So we'll play it by ear. But yeah, so recommend a camera and mic for me for streaming. And then if you know a good drawing stand for my desk, this is what I've said before, is I have 2 of the like hanging arm ones. The problem is especially when I ink, I practically lay on the page. I lean over so far and I really put my head down, and I've always just worked very, very close to the board, so it's very difficult for me to shoot. I think the best way would be to actually have the camera straight in front of me, and also I spin the page constantly. That's the other problem is I don't work in one spot. So just the way that I naturally work is I'm laying on top of the page, I spin it a lot, I move the paper around, I'm checking angles and stuff like that. So it's I know, you know, you see someone like I think Finch. He almost keeps his board like in one spot. I don't work that way at all. I mean, it's a flurry of activity. So anyway, that'll be fun. But yeah, and then what I wanted to do, because this would really help me out. I've had a lot of people interested in original art, but like I'll cover a lot of ground with it. What I thought I would do is, because I had mentioned this to people, that getting a piece of cheap original art of inks that are done at a professional level is a great study tool for people. And the thing is when you do a comic book, say you do a 20-page comic book, maybe 5 of the pages are like splash pages and pages with like Superman or Batman or whatever it is looking all killer, and you may have 5 to 10 pages that are really nice drawings, but it's more backgrounds, it's more people in regular clothes. And sometimes I know for Finch and I, those pages would take a lot longer. I might spend 16 hours on a page of Bruce Wayne and like some girl having, you know, dinner in a restaurant. But, you know, someone will spend, you know, $10,000 on a Batman headshot that we did for a cover that took, you know, 5 hours. You know, so it's a weird thing, but it would really help me cover my bills until we lead up. Like, my goal would be to launch Blasterkid within the next 3 to 4 weeks. My original goal was 3 weeks, but I have to just be realistic of what's going to go on. And I want to have some color art ready to go. So the clock is ticking on that. Only in that I would like to have at least 1 or 2 pieces of examples of colors. So we'll see how that goes. And then yeah, I'm looking at my little list because I've seen like Mike Miller do art auctions online, and it looked really fun, and it's a great way to actually give people an opportunity to pick up art. It helps support the artist, and it's kind of fun, and you get to see original art. So I need to go back and actually watch one of those videos and see how he did it, how it was shot, and like how you show the art if you're moving your camera around or whatever it is. And then this was the next little idea I had, and I thought it would be a really fun thing for people to see. Crowdfunded books are great for investors. And you're like, what? What are you talking about, Rich? Here's the deal. Like the Image boom, Wildcats #1, Gen 13 #1, a lot of those comic books, there was millions made. 3 million copies, 1 million copies, 800,000 copies. Copies on copies on copies. Everybody was buying 3 copies of the book, 5 copies of the book, 10 copies of the book if it was #1. You had all the variant covers, and almost all of that stuff is worthless. But self-published comics, especially early issues, are very collectible. Why would that be? Because they're such low print runs. And so I just wanted to show 2 examples that came to my mind, and encourage people to like if you're a comic book fan, one, you're doing a really great thing by actually supporting artists that you love, self-publishing, but on top of it is someone who's a comic collector, which I think we all are. It's part of the fun of the hobby is you get these tangible collectibles that you can put on your shelf, that you can put away, that, you know, sometimes you slab them, whatever you do. But look at the prices that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 get. These are asking prices. We're going to look at completed auctions in a second. I don't know what the print run was on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, but these are fairly high grade. But, you know, the thing is you get your copy of whatever book it is that you're into, you know, and only 2 to 10,000 copies are made of it. That's a very low print run for a collectible, you know, and I think that that's pretty exciting. So here, let's look into the completed auctions and see what we got going on. What do we got going on? Wow, 79 freaking thousand. Or best offer, best offer accepted, best offer. I would be nearly sure 9.8. Holy Rancho Santa Fe, who I may know that person. That's not actually that far from my house. Holy shit. I wish that when best offer accepted was taken that we would know what it was. Jesus. $79,000? Who has that much for a freaking comic? Damn. Isn't that exciting? 1984. So 36 years ago, this book was released. I would love to know the print run. I know I could look it up. I don't want to get on Google and start searching for stuff. But let's see, does it say? Goodness gracious. That is nuts. But it's exciting, right? 17,000 or best offer, 16,000 or best offer. This one, there was the buy it now. So this was a 9.0 and it sold for actually 15K. So that other one might have gone for 20 to 35,000 maybe more, who knows. Damn. $15,000. Talk about getting your money back on a book. If I was Kevin Eastman, could you imagine if you had a box of these sitting in your garage? It would be great, you know, if you sat on them. So Cerebus #1 is another one. I'm surprised that it's so low. I guess interesting. Well, let's see what they sell for. I thought that they went for more, to be 100% honest. Let's see. Sold items. 7.5. So 1,500. That's not bad though. I honestly thought that it would be more. I remembered it as being more. That's not so bad. His art was so primitive at that point. But anyway, I thought that would be kind of a cool little way to end this video, is just to sort of encourage people to support these books. And not only are you doing a great thing for the artists, but it's funny that all these books are from San Diego and my area. That's really weird. Who's the seller? Collectors Comics. I don't know who that is. Let's see what else they're selling. See other items. Let's sort by highest first. Damn. 44,000 for that. 25 watchers. The 4.0. Origin of Wonder Woman. Interesting. Wow. That's crazy. So yeah, if you have any questions or things that you would like me to kick around, I have the first appearance of Poison Ivy, actually. I bought it in a collection. Let's see how much that goes for. Poison Ivy. And then the easiest way is just go highest first. Oh wait, highest first. Wait, what was that? Hold on. Best match. What was the top one? I don't remember that issue. Highest first. Let's see. I can't remember what. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So mine is not in this condition though, just to be clear. But I do have this comic, and you want it with the poster. There's a double page pinup of Batman and Robin. Mine has it, but mine's probably a 4 grade or something like that. Let's see what they sell for. So that's a 9.0, 5 grand. Here's a 5. So 3,700. Oh my gosh, it's signed though. Damn. Interesting. Sorry, have a great day. Hopefully that was fun. And yeah, by popular demand, we're bringing back Journey of 1,000 Miles. This is 63. But I mean, like I mentioned, there was, I think I did like 100 vlogs. So there was a ton of them. I'll slowly dust them off. But new ones are fun too. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on, so it's worth it. It's a nice little drawing. That's cool. That's nice. That's good. All right, have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later. I got to do a video for Patreon, and I will be back tomorrow. Have a great day, and I will have updates on Blasterkid throughout the week, so stay tuned. Thank you guys for your support. Bye.